Here's an update on those tomatoes I transplanted out here. It is the 4th of May today, so we'll see how many days that's been since transplant. And as you can see, they're all doing very, very well. Let's get a little bit of a close-up on these. You can see these are doing quite well. So this one's noticeably a lot taller than the ones down there. Now this one here is not very tall. Red cherry hybrid, but maybe that's just because that's just the way that plant grows. But the rest of them are doing quite well. Now one thing I wanted to show you is, you see, this used to be a floating raft thing. See, there's the floating rafts up there and you put cups in there. But I decided to try something different this year, and it worked very good for me in times past. What I'm trying to do here this year is just use this as like a tray. Now this still has water flowing through it like the floating raft, but it keeps the bottom of the pots here soaked. There's about that much water along the bottom of those flower pots, and the water trickles up, and it works great, and the plants love it. Also, you can put some fertilizers in the water, and it helps it grow even better. Let me show you what I mean. Now you see it's sitting in the water, and look at that. It's not really wet on the top, but all you do is go down this far and it's kind of moist there. And see the same thing here. It's moist, but it's not soaked. It's not soggy. See, so this works pretty well. So I'm gonna let these grow, and you can see I've got the strings down already, and these are gonna climb the strings. I've already got one tied here. We'll let that grow a little taller, and then we'll wind that around there. There we go, and support it that way. There we go. First turn, and these will grow up to the top there. But anyway, there's something else too that I think is important. Now, if you look down here, you see, look at all this moss. There's a lot of it. Anywhere there's a little sunshine hitting it, there's a lot of moss. Now, people may tell you, or you may hear, or you may think that, oh my goodness, the moss and the algae is eating up all my nutrients. But I don't look at it that way. I look at it as more, what it's doing is it's indicating that in the water this is healthy, because these plants are growing and they're green. They're not sewage or anything like that. This is green algae and other plants like that growing. So that tells you that the nutrient level in this water is pretty good. Now, just so you can see what I'm doing here, there's a bowl of water, or a tank of water down there, and what's happening is this is being pumped up here, and it comes out here, and then it flows down here in this tank on the top, and it flows into here through that little pipe right there, and then it goes down and it overflows down. There's a pipe under here, and I keep that on there to keep that weighted down to keep muck out of the pipe, overflow pipe. And then right there, that pipe that's running this way, that is the drain back into the tank. Now also, this tank gets refreshed. There's goldfish downstairs, I'll show you that. And what happens is the goldfish tank down there fills this up, and it recycles a little bit. And so this is a combination of hydroponics, aquaponics. It works pretty good. Now, I had something kind of disturbing starting to happen to these tomatoes here that I planted, and I wanted to show you this. I think this is what they call tomato root rot. Let me show you here. Okay, you can see right here I've removed a tomato plant out of this pot, and then this was the Flavor Bomb tomatoes. What's happened? Let's see if I can get. I don't know if I can. Let me bring the camera over here, but I put them over here and let them dip in the water. But I don't know if you can see that. But let me show you. You see the tip here started to get. I don't know. The best way to describe it is it got real skinny and thin, like it was pinching off, and it broke. Now you can see there's roots starting to come out of here, which is good, so I think these will recover. Let me look at the other one here. Now you can see it more pronounced in this one. You see how the root come up and and then it's just kind of got skinny and like it was rotting away. Now you can see this one is also developing some new roots, so I think this will recover. I'll re-root it, but let me show you here. You can kind of see this here, I think. See, they're sticking up right here. And there we go. They're sticking up right here. Let me try to... But you can see what happened to them is they kind of got skinny and rotten. There's a chunk I took off of it. It's hard to see what I'm talking about. But basically, it's like right there at the root line, like there's some kind of rot. Yeah, you can see this one here. You see how it's getting skinny up there as it gets up there. It's like it's rotting away. It's pinching itself off. I guess that's a way of putting it. So what I've done here is I've noticed there's some of that happening on all of these. So I guess that's what you call root rot. So what I've done here is I've piled up some dirt against the roots on all of these to try to hopefully they'll re-root themselves before they rot off. And I think obviously what's happening is because it's sitting in this water, this is getting too wet. Now this isn't soggy. You know, you'd think it feels soggy, but it doesn't feel soggy. You can see me kicking it around here. It's not soaked, so I don't know, but it's happened here, and I hope we can arrest it, and I hope these will recover. As you can see, this one's still growing very nicely, and this one was growing very nicely until what happened was I tried to put it on a string here, and as I touched it, it just fell over and broke off. And anyway, let's see if they recover. I hope it does. Okay, now today what I did was, if you remember, I had these tomato plants here that the root kind of rotted off, and I put them over here and let them restart some roots. Now you can see this one here has got some roots coming. The other one, what I did was I dug a hole in here and stuffed it all the way down into the dirt, and we'll see how it goes. Now these are those cherry bomb tomatoes, those flavor bomb tomatoes, so again they're hybrids, so I don't know what we're going to get, but we'll see. But anyway, growing pretty good. Looks like the brandywine is doing the best. Look at that, climbing that string. Okay. Well, here's how those tomato plants are doing that I transplanted up here a while ago. As you can see, this one right here is doing far better than any of the others. Now that's a brandywine tomato, and boy is it going. Now let me show you here how these blossoms are. You see, there's tomatoes out here, and if you peel these flowers off, I'm not going to do that, but I did it on one, and you can see there is one of the tomatoes forming. So that won't take too long until we'll have a tomato. But the rest of them are healthy, they're doing fine, and some of them did get, like I say, a root rot, and this was one of them. And what I did was I put it in here and let it reestablish its roots. See, here's another one, and see the roots are coming on, and I think I'll leave this one in here, but this one I dug a deep hole and shoved it all the way in there, and as you can see it's recovered and doing fine. And we ought to get a good crop of tomatoes out of these. Well, today I thought I'd do an update on how my tomatoes are doing. And they're doing quite well. If you remember, I planted these in little pots, planter pots, in a solution of water. And let me show you how well they've done. This is in what I call the sun deck on the back of our house. Now this faces east, and it's in the morning right now. You can see the sun is coming up there, or it's up by a little ways. And it gets rather hot in here, so I've got some swamp coolers in here that kind of keep it tolerable. But it's a very good environment for tomatoes. And as you can see, they're growing clear up to the ceiling here, the roof. And I need to trim them back because, see, they're starting to have a lot of blossoms right up there against the skylights, and they don't really do good well that high up there. You got to encourage them to have blossoms down below. Now, look, talking about blossoms, look in here. Now this, see, there's a red tomato there. I'll pick that one. See that? Now that looks like a Roma tomato, but I'll have to pull the stick out and see what it says it is. There it is, okay. It's actually a purple cherry tomato. Now let's see. That doesn't look purple cherry to me. So I'm not sure what's going on, but these are out of the same pot. And they look like Roma tomatoes, so I don't know. And here's another one. Look at that. Good tomatoes. Now over here, this one is what I grew from the store. These right here. They were called flavor bombs in the store, and they were hybrid tomatoes. And so I planted them just to see what I'd get. And these look just like the flavor bomb tomato layout. That's how they were in the little container I bought. But I've eaten one of these, a couple of these, and they do taste like the original flavor bomb. So maybe they just said they were hybrids. I don't know. But I just thought I'd let you know how they're doing. Oh, here's another one. Here, look. Let's see. This is a Brandywine tomato up here. And see, there's another one back in there. I don't know if you can see that because of the lighting. But these are doing well. And there's another one down here. Like, look at all the tomatoes I'm getting. And it's just a little space. I mean, look at this. This is what, 8 feet wide maybe? Well, I'm standing in front of my tomato patch here that I planted on our sun deck a while ago, and this is going to be the last of these. The last of the videos on this. Just wanted to show you how it turned out. As you can see, this is taller than me. Let me back up here where I can show you a better picture. Now, as you can see, there it is. As you can see underneath here, you can see the table down here. And look how those have grown. Now I've tried to trim those back, but I got too lazy lately, busy with other things, and I haven't done it. But look at what we've got here. We've got, see, there's some red tomatoes right there. Another one. And every day I've been going out here for the last couple of weeks picking tomatoes. Now see, there's some back here. There's one in there. You can see a red one in there somewhere. Yeah, you can see it. And there's another one. And see, way back in there, there's some red ones back there. And some in here. So you saw, now if you look at that little basket I took a picture of in the kitchen, those are tomatoes I picked off of here. And every day I get about that many. So just to review what this is you see from the back here, I didn't plant anything on this back tray, but there's 2 trays like this. See that? And there's one there, and then there's one here. You can see the corner of it. And then all that's in here is flower pots. And you can see one here. Let's see, yeah, you can see a better picture here. There you can see them. See right there? All that's in there is flower pots, and I planted the tomatoes in the flower pots with just regular potting soil. See that? And they're in the water here that's flowing by. Now, one thing, yeah, you can see it. And now this morning, see that mat? That you press on that, it's hard to compress it, but see, look at that. Look how thick that is. That's the mat of roots coming out of all these pots. So anyway, you can grow tomatoes like this, and they grow quite well. And water is circulating out of that pond, and that pond has water circulating through it from another source that's inside the house that's got goldfish in a big tank. So that's what's feeding these things, and boy, it's really a success. And here is today's haul. Now some of these could probably ripen up a little bit more, but they're ripe, and every day I get at least this much now, and that'll continue for the next couple of months anyway.